Hey guys, welcome to Drop Your Buffs week 4. I hope you guys are doing great and that you had a good week. I had a fun week. I just wrote papers all week and that's what I'll be doing the rest of today. But yeah, so let's get down to it. I thought instead of doing it like I've been doing it, which is pretty linear in terms of what I talk about, I picked 4 major things because it's week 4 that I'm going to talk about, and I'll probably talk about other things while I'm talking about these things, but yeah. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the leader debate, because I love the idea of the leader debate. Every season there's always big drama over who should be the leader of what tribe and what have you. So this week, last week we saw that in tribal council, Jerry kind of pointed out that there wasn't a leader for Timbira, and that Timbira really needed to find someone to lead the tribe because they weren't successful and they weren't doing so hot. Jerry pointed out that Brendan should be the leader, and then Coach took some offense to it. So there was this big question between who should be the leader, Coach or Brendan. So we revisit this debate at the beginning of the episode, and Coach kind of pushes it onto Brendan, saying, you should be the leader. People seem to want you to be the leader over me. You'll be good at it, whatever. But then in his little secret interview or whatever, he's like, yeah, Brendan's going to get voted off, and then I'm going to be the leader, and I'll be a better leader than him, so people will love me even more. Which I think is hilarious. I love Coach. I think he's just ridiculous. But yeah, so to analyze this, I think the leader question is always very interesting because it puts people out there. It puts people out there saying, this is what I'm going to provide for the tribe. And if people aren't satisfied with it, it's a really easy reason to vote someone off because they're not living up to their duties as the leader. Like last season with GC, and he was the leader, and then he quit being the leader, and then he got voted off. So that puts a lot of pressure on someone. So to be the leader is a very big responsibility, and it really takes a strong individual to take that role and do it right because people don't like to be told what to do, and it's kind of nature. It's like human nature. We don't like people telling us, oh, can you go get sticks? I'll do it on my own time, thank you. So it's very interesting when there is a leader that's successful, because it's very rare that we see on Survivor successful leaders, just because people don't want to be told what to do because they feel like they're being undermined or whatever. So I think this debate's very interesting because Coach is a leader. He's a coach, So to see him kind of take a step back is probably a good move on his part because I think if he was in a leadership role, he would be overbearing and he would be gone in an instant. So I think, having Coach take a step back is really going to cement his position in the tribe as being, a second tier, but not really because he thinks he's pulling all the strings. So I thought that was very interesting. And then to put Brendan into that role is kind of Coach pushing Brendan a little further and putting him out there, and that because Brendan is a very, very strong guy. He's likable. So it's kind of Coach giving Brendan one kind of weakness maybe that he's got to provide for the tribe or whatever. So I thought that was really interesting, the leader debate. The next thing I'm going to talk about, the status of the Secret Alliance. So we've got Brendan and Taj going to exile for the first 2 times at exile, and they kind of set up a secret alliance saying that they'll look out for each other, and then when they make it to the merge that they will work together, and they'll each bring with them one person from their tribe, so they have a 4. So Taj says, oh, I'll talk to Steven. So she goes to Steven in this episode, and Steven's kind of like, why the hell not? I just stumbled onto this great, alliance, and I've done nothing because I've hardly seen him. I mean, obviously the show is going to edit it, so it doesn't look like they have any relationship whatsoever, and all of a sudden Steven and Taj are best friends. Okay, sounds great, but Steven was very okay, whatevs, I'll do it, because he seemed like, he's in with JT, he's in with all these other people already, and just to have this, it really cements his place as being in a good position later on and to make the merge and then to do well at the merge. And I could see Steven going really far at this point because he's not going to be targeted in the first, if he makes the merge, he won't be targeted in the first round of voting because he's not one of the stronger guys like Joe or JT, who I feel like isn't going to make it that far because they're strong guys. So I think Steven's doing pretty well. And then so Brendan was like, okay, I'll talk to Sierra. Of course he doesn't talk to Sierra. And then Jalapao wins immunity or wins reward and has to pick someone. And Taj and Steven are like, pick Sierra. So they pick Sierra, and Sierra has no idea what's going on, which I thought could have really screwed Brendan with Taj, that Brendan didn't even say a thing. But clearly Taj didn't even think of that. But so Sierra goes to exile and gets kind of filled in by Taj. And she's like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm on the top of the food chain again. Goody. So I thought that was really, lucky that worked out for Brendan, that Taj didn't get suspicious about why, he didn't say anything. But I think this alliance is a very interesting concept. I think, unfortunately, that some of the people that are in it, particularly Taj, are not the best people to pull it off. I think Taj is going to get screwed, and then the alliance is going to fall apart. Just because she's got her hand in everything, and she's put herself out there a lot. So I don't know about the Secret Alliance anymore. And the preview for next week seems that Tyson kind of finds out about it, maybe. So, but I love the idea of it. So don't get me wrong there. So the next thing, the tribe raid. The reward was that Jalapao got to take 2 things from Timbira, and Jalapao took a bag of beans and a water can. And their tribe was all like, oh, why didn't you take both bags of beans? And JT and Joe's reasoning was, well, if there's a switch, I want to have a bag of beans at both camps because I don't want to get screwed and then have stolen all the beans for my new tribe. I think this is brilliant reasoning. I don't know why Sandy and like some of the other people were like, that's awful. I think that's really smart because we have seen that happen in past seasons. I can't think of a really good example right now. Where there's been a switch and people have really been disappointed because they have gone to a tribe that's lost all the rewards. There's been, like last season with the Fong tribe, and how a bunch of, I don't remember the other name of the tribe last season. A bunch of people from the yellow team went over to the Fong tribe, and there was nothing there, and they just built this beautiful camp. So I thought that was really good reasoning. I don't care what other people say. It was smart to me, which is funny coming from the country boy and then the dumb guy, because that's what Joe is to me, I guess. The last thing I want to talk about is the vote, Sydney or Sandy. Who would you pick? Let's be honest. It's a tribe of mostly guys. Like let's talk about reality for a second. I'm not gonna pick the crusty grandma who says the most creepy, gross things to people over the hot girl who's gonna give me a massage. I'm a girl, but I see how these guys work, and Sandy was dreaming when she thought that she could get Sydney off instead of her. Seriously. But so yeah, there was a point there when I thought, oh, maybe Sandy will get it to work, because Sydney was running her mouth a little bit. She was saying oh, I like to be sneaky and whatever, and you keep your mouth shut when you play this game. You really don't. I mean, you don't reveal a lot about yourself. I think the best way to win it is to, obviously you don't want to not tell them anything because they'll be suspicious of that. But you don't say some of these things that are going to get you in trouble, oh, I like to be sneaky, and I'm a model, my job is to look hot. You have to kind of tone it down a little bit, or people are going to get annoyed with you very easily, because it's a really hard situation to just be thrown out in the woods with, a handful of other individuals. It's kind of like the real world minus the hot house and the clubs and the alcohol. So that's my opinion on that. Otherwise, I thought it was an interesting episode. Nothing really stood out to me that I think will be a big deal down the line, other than this Secret Alliance deal. Who are my favorites right now? I've got a minute left on the video. I love Tyson, and people really seem to hate him. If you read online, oh my god, Tyson this, Tyson that, he's such an asshole. I think he is one of the better people this season, because he doesn't give a shit. And I think if you take it too seriously, you're gonna get screwed. I think, Taj is playing the game so hard, but I think in playing the game so hard, she's gonna get in trouble with it. And I like that Tyson is, he's playing the game. It's not like he's not playing the game, but he's playing it with some humor. And same with Debbie, and Debbie's really growing on me. At first I really hated her, but now she's really growing on me because she's playing us with some humor. And I think playing it too seriously, like I said, you're gonna get screwed. Coach, I think he's gonna get screwed. Oh well. But anyways, have a good week. I will see you next week. And I have a bonus video, so check it out.